I don't know about you guys, but one of my least favorite things to do is to go bikini shopping. So I thought I would make my own. Hey guys, and welcome back. For me, the reason why I dislike it is one, the fit. Usually it is either fitting on the cup, but it's too big around the chest, or it fits around the chest, but it is too small on the cup. So the second one is the ones that fit and I like are usually quite expensive, or the ones that fit are boring. I made bras before. I've never made bikinis before. So this is my first attempt. Maybe the smart thing to do would be to do the first attempt on my own and then share a better version with you guys. But I thought, let's share the initial process together. I bought the pattern, I bought like a material kit, and I have a course that I'm following that sort of shows step by step how to turn this particular pattern into a bikini. I'm setting myself up to succeed here. I'm gonna go safe here just to see, can I do this? So we'll see. Here are the goodies. I am using the classic Pinup Girls pattern just to make it easier, and just because that's what they're using in the course that I'm following. I have the like main outer material, which is this light aqua fabric. I have made a test bra from the classic pattern because I haven't sewn it before. I feel like it mostly fits fine, but maybe I should have gone up a cup size. What I probably should have done, that I haven't done, is to just make a small try not to. Of course I did. Of course I did. I should have probably taken it out a bit over here to make it sit closer over the bust, but hopefully it'll be fine. I'm gonna use that knowledge for later and finish it with a pattern that I have. I'll be sewing the lining and the main fabric separately. So these lines right here. So far, we have the cups. They are lined. I have not yet sewn the outer layer to the padded cup. I pinned it on, so it's there. I'm not sure if we can even tell anything from this yet, but I think it should fit fine. Look at these pasty arms. They have not seen the sun yet. So the next part will be to work on the back band and the frame. Here is what it looks like. So I have pinned this fabric on one side, I pinned this on the other. So now I'm just going to sew these together down the side seam here. Yay, so that looks how I wanted it to. I'm gonna do the same on the other side as well, and that concludes the band. I'm going to just sew a top stitch here over the seam, and then I'm just going to sew the bridge right sides together afterwards, like this. Yay! the frame is pretty much done, so it's elastic time. And I'm just going to sew that on basically with a zigzag. I have no idea why this has happened, but there are so many skipped stitches here. Maybe it's just a bit too heavy for the needle I'm using. I think I have to buy new needles. Okay, so I have tried a lot of stuff. It is much better. For the most part, there are no skipped stitches, but there are still at the end here a few. And I don't know at this point why. I've changed the needle, I've looked at the stitch plate, I've looked at the pressure foot, I've changed size of needles. Maybe I could still use a bigger one, maybe use a super stretch instead of a microtex, I don't know. At this point, I'm gonna let it be. So I'm supposed to sew this to this side and then fold it over. What I could do would be to trim off a bit on the foam. I'm just gonna take off like a millimeter, maybe two. I have a bit more now. I think maybe that's just enough. I really don't understand why this is happening. So now it's time to get the cups into the frame. And that is honestly one of the funnest parts, I think. I have put in one. It's looking quite nice, I think. So I'm just going to put in the one on the other side as well. So what I found out yesterday, I'm not sure why that is, but it seems like my machine prefers a super stretch needle compared to a micro tex needle. I get a lot less skipped stitches with the super stretch. That's good. I have no idea why, but if it works, it works, so. That's it. And we have a bikini, sort of. I'm just going to undo some basting and then we'll take it from there. But I think it's starting to look good. Now it's time for the underarm elastic. So I'm just going to sew that on from the back band and all the way up here. So unfortunately, I do not have the correct color underwire casing. So I am going to hold off on the underwire and do the straps. So I'm just going to put on sort of like a bias binding on this edge right here, because the strap is going to continue from this curve right here and up and over. So this is just to anchor the strap. So I'm going to zigzag there and zigzag there. I'm just going to put on a ring to attach the strap and just do that on both sides. And I'll be doing the same in the back, so I'm just sliding on one half of this bikini clasp. Feels high quality, so I'm happy about that. So that is how it looks in the back. I think it's really coming together. So I'm just putting this aside just for a second and I'm gonna sew straps. So the way of doing this that I'm going to follow is to use fabric covered elastic. So this is the same type of elastic that I've used throughout. So I'm just going to sew together two pieces with a zigzag to get a wider strap. There we go. Here I have the strips of fabric. Here I have a strap. And what I'm going to do is to just sew this to one side, flip it over, and then sew a zigzag stitch down the middle. So just like a regular bra strap, I'm just putting on the slider like this and sewing that in place. So next step is to attach these to the rings on the bikini itself. So I finally have the underwire casings, so I can finish this bikini. My hair is really having a life of its own today. I have like Hermione hair in that respect, where just a sniff of humidity and it just... So I just pinned one of these to the seam allowance around the cup, and I'm just now going to sew them on. So now I can put in the underwire and then just bar tack the ends here and cut them. It is done. Now that the top is done, I want to move on to the bikini bottoms. This is a bit more tricky because I don't really have like a pattern per se. I have a simplicity pattern that also includes these pants, and I'm gonna use these for the bottoms, and that is because it's high-waisted and I want that. I just wanted to show you guys because I have made a mock-up of sorts. On this side is the original pattern, and I tried that on and I didn't really like the fit, and also I prefer the kind of like high cut 80s style. I tried doing more like a high cut on this side and I prefer that, so I'm going to use this kind of cut and doing the panels. I should also mention that I've just been on holiday where I hurt my arm, so if you see me handling some of the fabric pieces or tools in a slightly awkward way, that is why. So the back consists of these panels sewn together here and the front here. So I just start off by sewing together the front panels. I'm gonna top stitch this eventually, but first, before doing that, I'm gonna move on to the back, and these have to be sewn together before attaching it to this. I am just going to sew the first side here, and then hopefully I'll just be able to flip it around and then continue the other side. I don't think I will bother with these joints in the lining. It's not a construction thing, so. Now this was a hassle, but I think in the end it looks as nice as I think I'm gonna get it. So now I just basted the main fabric and the lining of the bikini bottoms together. I will hide the seam allowance by pinning this main fabric to this side and the lining to this side. I think that worked out nicely. I need to put elastic into the leg opening and the top. Now I just want to explain to you guys what I'm going to do about the waistband, because I was just going to do this on top. What I'm going to do instead, on this swimming suit that I really like, there is this edging to it, and what I want to do, just sew this and press it in half like this to make the band. Then I'm going to baste that around the top like this. When that's basted, I'm going to sew on the elastic on the inside here, turn it out like this, and then sew again on top here. The reason why I want to do this is because I want a softer waistband, basically for aesthetic reasons. I've just basted the waistband around here on the top. So what I'm gonna do now is to just turn this inside out and sew on this elastic. So I'm gonna turn it in like this. Thankfully, the back joint is lined up and the legs will be next up. That will just be elastic turned in, and that's it. So I'm just going to slip these over the yoga pants. I feel like some sort of Superman. But regardless of that, I feel like the fit is okay. It's relatively high cut, but it's still fairly good in terms of coverage. So that's my first bikini. I'm quite happy with this as a first attempt. If you guys have any suggestions for swimwear patterns or designs or any stuff like that, please let me know. And I hope to see you guys in the next video.